And we're live.
Hey, we did it.
Hey.
Top 10
Just
time.
Woo.
This is number 2. We already did this earlier today.
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't usually do these in reverse order.
true.
John, do you want to say why we're doing that? Is it advertise
Yeah,
your
you
thing?
can go for it. I'm going to be on the Zelda Universe marathon later tonight at 11 o'clock my time. So almost immediately after this podcast ends. I'm going to be joining my buddy Laughing Boy LP as he plays through Zelda 1, and I'm going to be on CoCom with him.
Nice. Right on. Lots of recording for you.
Yeah, no, I've been going all day since like 3. So.
Nice.
Is that when you woke up? 3 in the afternoon?
No, I woke up at noon.
Okay.
But the stream ends at 3, so I'm pretty much going for 12 hours.
Right on. I said this in TDP Plus, but apologies if you're seeing my weird eye and I'm making weird facial expressions on this show. Focusing is difficult for me. Otherwise, I get double vision. So you'll probably see a lot of me just closing the eye, to be honest, and for the rest of the show. But yes, I am back with the camera. Has anyone started Marvel's What If?
Yeah.
Oh, is that out?
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have not watched it yet, so don't spoil it. But Paul, how you feeling?
It didn't do enough for me. Yeah, I mean, I can't talk about why, but I wish it had gone a little bit further into some weird territory. It's pretty good. The animation is fantastic. That's what I'll say about it.
Okay. How long are the episodes?
Oh, I don't know. Didn't even bother noticing. Let me see if I can find
Well,
it.
I mean, was it like a 22 or a 40 something, or just over whatever, kind of like what Marvel does now?
I think it's kind of whatever.
Okay.
33 minutes I'm seeing in chat.
I'm seeing.
33? Okay.
Right on. Yeah. Hopefully I'll get to it tonight, depending on how late we go. Otherwise, I'll definitely watching it tomorrow. Although Fridays are Ted Lasso day, so
Yeah.
yeah,
True.
you know how it is.
I do.
I'm excited though. Relating to that though, I did watch the Suicide Squad on the weekend.
Me too.
How was it? I've been hearing mostly positive things.
It's fucking fantastic.
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's definitely better than the first Suicide Squad movie.
Not saying it much there, but yes.
Yeah, that might be the worst movie I've ever seen though. So, which I still can't tell. That first one, did it happen continuity? I think it did, right?
It did. This is a sequel, technically.
Yeah, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
That's so weird. But, anyways, some fantastic characters. Paul, give me some of your highlights. What did you like? Without, don't go into spoilers.
I mean, the big thing was the boss, the villain.
Okay.
Is what the fuck? I can't believe they actually did that.
Well, I mean, that's in the trailer, so people know.
I don't watch trailers, so I had no idea.
Okay. So, yeah, that's in the trailer. I thought Weasel was a highlight. We're a big fan of Weasel over in this household.
Oh, I hate that thing. It's so gross.
It's so gross. It's so good. King Shark.
King Shark's right.
I fell in love with King Shark when the Harley Quinn animated show.
Yeah.
And this was another great version of King Shark. It's no Ron Funches isn't voicing it, which is depressing, but still he did some pretty hilarious stuff in there for sure.
Yep.
Polka Dot Man was pretty enjoyable. In the little bits we saw of him.
Ratcatcher 2 is great.
I think my favorite part though is just Idris Elba's complete disdain for everything going on when he's in the prison and he's like being introduced to everyone. Like,
yeah,
the way he hates absolutely everything and just knows how fucking nonsense these people are in a world where Superman exists.
Yeah,
I just love it. He did such a good job with the role.
Yep, he's fantastic. John Cena's great as well for his role.
John Cena was very good in that role for sure. and I mean Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie, she was fantastic too, and she has an incredibly fun scene.
I mean, she is Harley Quinn at this point, so it's not even acting anymore. That's just her.
It's like not since like I'm trying to think of other kind of like comic book actors that just like nailed it so fucking well, and it's like Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man.
Yeah.
It's Hugh Jackman and Wolverine.
Yeah.
And like I think she's up there as well.
Totally.
Like, man, you just fit this role so well.
Yep.
It's good. And I loved that I was able to get it for free on HBO Max down here. So
yeah.
You get it for free.
And every Warner Brothers movie this year was being added to HBO Max. As long as you subscribe to it, but for free along with theaters. So like that, Godzilla, Space Jam, those all got added day one to HBO Max.
Okay, I misunderstood because I forgot you needed a subscription for that. I thought you were like, because I know Disney Plus is all extra fees, which is stupid, but
yeah,
Disney Plus has the extra fees, but this is the equivalent of just the regular. There's no extra fees with this one. It's like a movie going to Netflix.
Yep.
And I did see The Green Knight, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. I'm not sure I understood a lot of what was going on.
Okay.
But I think that movie is beautifully shot. There are some great scenes in that movie.
The cinematography is like so good. It's so crazy good.
It's people are mentioning in the chat, Ian McKellen as Magneto, J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah.
Both of those great ads for sure.
Yep.
Keep them coming. Like Tom Holland as Spider-Man is pretty good. I think. Pretty good one.
Sure. Spider-Man has had some good representation. So
he has, but I think like Tom Holland just like blows out of the water. It's like him and the animated Miles Morales are just so good. Just like cheating. Yeah, this weekend I'm gonna see Free Guy. I'm gonna do it.
All right.
It looks terrible. It looks so bad. The reviews are like at like 96%.
Is it in theaters
that
only?
high?
It's that high. It is insanely high. I don't understand and I need to know. Paul, what was your question?
Is it only in theaters?
Yes.
Yeah, fuck that movie then.
So I'm going to go to a theater to see that for sure. Well, I mean, down here, longer than 3 days from now, we still ask people to quarantine if they get a positive COVID result. So I can understand your hesitation for wanting to leave your apartment, living in Alberta.
I leave my apartment every day because I have to go to work.
Well, hopefully everyone else is quarantining as they should, but I know they no longer have to in like 3 days, which is ridiculous. So good luck.
Yeah, they are not in this province. I'm gonna be real. I went out to a store today. There's like no one wearing a mask.
Just wearing a shirt that says "I have COVID" on it. Yeah, well,
If they could get away with it, they weren't doing it.
Anyways, anything else new with you guys this week, John?
Launched a new Let's Play today. Doing Jet Set Radio Future. So
nice.
That started today. We're doing custom graffiti too, so artists can actually submit art to me on Twitter with a hashtag, and I can actually load it into the Xbox and get it in the game. So we're doing a fun little custom playthrough with that. Otherwise, this Saturday we're doing one of our Coliseum bonus streams. We're finishing our Mario Party game that we had running during that.
Sorry
and we're also it's only like 7 turns. We'll be okay. Then we're probably gonna also do a Luigi's Mansion multiplayer. So I remember what it was. So we'll do that for a little bit. But otherwise,
Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And for game clearing, so far we're doing Bayonetta 2 currently.
Nice.
Good game. That's a good game to watch.
Yeah. No,
Sure.
it's been interesting so far.
There you go. All right. Well, let's do the top-down perspective for August 12th. As I focus real hard at the corner of my screen. I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
I'm John Wheeler.
And John, did you play anything?
Just the new Picross game that came out. I had the wrong document loaded up. I just noticed, so I only just realized that now. I played Picross S Genesis and Master System Edition. So it's Picross, but all the puzzles are Sega Genesis sprites
Nice.
and
Okay.
Master System sprites.
What about the music?
The music is also Master System and Genesis music. But here's the
Okay.
dumb thing. There's 4 songs. That's it.
Oh, good.
4,
Okay,
one for each mode.
I thought you were gonna go. Here's
And-
the dumb thing: Sonic's in this.
Well, here's the thing. I haven't fucking found him yet.
That's great! Holy shit! How is that not like the first one?
Yeah, I think I found a blue sphere. I think I found a ring in the color mode.
See,
And I think
that's
one
how
of
I would have done it. It would have been like, here's how to do Picross. And it's a 3x3 grid. All you have to do is tap the middle one, and then the square turns blue, and it's Sonic as a ball. That's the first one.
Spin Dash. I think about it, Spin Dash. I think is exactly what you just described. I think I actually forgot
Yep.
about that puzzle completely.
Yeah, game designer right here. I played enough of
You
them.
did it. You did it. But yeah, no. There's 4 songs. I don't recognize one of them, but the 3 I do recognize is from Outrun, Alex Kidd, and Space Harrier. So
Oh,
I
it's
have
not
replaced-
even Sonic.
No,
Holy
there's no
shit.
Sonic music, which is insane.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's 4 game songs, and there's also ambient noise, which is literally they recorded like audio in an arcade, so you can do Picross puzzles while you're standing in an arcade, basically.
Sega
I
has
just-
the Total
yeah.
War license, right? Was there any of
Yes.
those on Sega Genesis or Master System?
No, that's
Okay.
like a 2000 onwards series.
That would have been funny if they just included some of that in there.
Football Manager.
Yeah, exactly. Just some weird things that they found.
Yeah, no. So I turned every song to the Space Harrier theme, and I'm having a blast because it's a really good song. But
I'm tired of it yet, though.
it was my 3DS theme for like 6 years, so no.
Okay. Right on.
But yeah, no, that's otherwise all I've been
Oh,
playing.
you're also the Picross guy. Are you jumping in on this?
No, I have too many other things to play right now. I'm not really.
Yeah,
thinking
this is
about
this is the
Picross.
thing. I'm just like this is my I can sometimes touch things. I'm still working through Final Fantasy X,
Yeah.
and and a lot of shit suddenly coming out again.
How much further are you in 10?
I'm on the Thunder Plains right now, so I'm
Nice.
15 hours in.
Nice. Pressing that button, dodging 200 times.
I do not want to do that. After having tried to do the dodge once, I'm like, who thought 200 in a row was a good idea? Fuck that.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks.
That sounds like a Final Fantasy game. So
It sure is.
Yep.
never did beat that one, but I am on the final boss. I have the strategy guide if you want me to loan it to you.
Sure, send it all over.
Yeah, I have absolutely no idea where that actually is right now. There's no. It's probably with my PS2, so it's in like my mom's like basement somewhere. But I think I have the guide for 10-2 as well.
I think you did. Did you get it from the shop when we were told to tear them all up? Is that when you got it?
No, I did take a couple of those, and I don't remember which games I took them for. I want to say one may have been like a Gears of War.
I do remember you
guide, which
taking a
has
Gears
to
of War
be
one because it was
the
like
most-
a wooden case. It was like a nice wooden collector's edition guide.
Maybe I think there was a Prince of Persia 2008 guide I took. Is another weird one. I did.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I don't think I took a Gears of War guide. I did, however, buy off of a customer a Gears of War 2 collector's edition for $2 because we were offering them $1, and I already owned the game, but I was like, I'll give you $2 for the collector's edition, and he was fine with that. So I did do
I
that.
do remember this because that shit happens all the fucking time.
I mean, everyone wins except EB Games.
Because you took away $1 from them when they were going to charge. Well, I guess technically you took 10 because they were going to give away sell it for like $10.
Probably, yeah. So. All right, well, Paul, if you're
Yeah.
not playing Picross, what are you doing with your time?
First of all, I played Back for Blood. That is so Left 4 Dead it hurts. So it's kind of predicated on you wanting to play Left 4 Dead again, but like a new version of it.
I do.
Okay.
So I've not been hearing good buzz about this. So what's up with this one?
It feels like maybe it's too much like Left 4 Dead and nothing new. It feels like that old style of game. It's pretty buggy, at least in the beta. A lot of the monsters or zombies or whatever the hell they are, I can't remember what they're called in here, like ridden or something like that, are kind of boring. Some of the the elite versions of them are just downright annoying or boring. Like one of them is literally like, what if we put a charger and a boomer together? It's like, yeah, that sucks because this fast moving thing that charges at you blows up in the vicinity. It's a tumor. Yeah, exactly.
It's not a tumor.
Yeah.
The gunplay is pretty good. Except the fact that they have add-ons, like you can get different ends for your guns, you can get different sights or like magazines or any of that sort of stuff, and they're pretty standard as to what you would think. One of them might give you more ammo in the magazine, one of them might be faster reload, etc., etc. You can't take those off, so if you pick it up, it's stuck on that gun until you find another one to replace it. You cannot just take it off. So what this meant was one of my buddies found a auto shotgun with a long-range sniper scope on it and was stuck with a long-range sniper scope on his shotgun until he could find one to switch it out with.
So when
you switch it out, do you gain the other one or is it just thrown away?
You gain the other one and the other one gets thrown onto the ground or whatever. Like it literally just swaps it.
Like switching.
Yeah.
I mean, that at that point you're firing from the hip. Don't aim down the sight.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of dumb. I'm guessing it's so you can't like trade with your friends and actually get good versions of the guns or something, but it just feels shitty. Nothing about that feels good. Even if it was just like, let me take the whatever off and like it destroys it or something, give me that option at the very minimum or something. Or just don't have add-ons or attachments. I don't really care because I don't know. That seems weird. You can buy them too in the rooms, in the safe rooms, which is kind of a different way to do things. You can just buy anything you want, which feels kind of weird in a Left 4 Dead of just always being able to have pipe bombs or like whatever gun they're selling in that room or anything. So that's kind of interesting. I think the big thing that people like about this game and is kind of interesting is they have the card system, which is actually just basically a perk deck. You basically make a deck of perks that you want throughout your gameplay, and every time you go to a save room, you can choose one to like apply to that play session, and it kind of like changes up how things are, how the game feels or whatever for you. So that's pretty cool. It kind of changes up, it gives more replayability. Yeah, it's 100%. Do you like Left 4 Dead and want another one though? That's what that game is.
I do.
Yeah, so that's
I'm
what
tired of Zombie Army 4 Dead War.
Sure.
So I want the real thing.
Sure. Yeah. It does all the same things of you go to an objective, you fight your way to an objective point. There are things that can call the horde along the way, and then you get horded by a bunch of easy to kill ridden. I'm pretty sure they're called ridden in this. And then when you get to that point, you have to do a big objective, which will call the horde again, and you have to usually survive or do something to get away from them, and then that ends the chapter in the act you're in.
Wow, you weren't kidding. You've just described Left 4 Dead almost perfectly.
There's different characters that have different personalities. One's named Mama. They talk to each other, and like it is literally Left 4 Dead 3, basically.
I mean, that's what people want, right?
Yeah.
They've been wanting Left 4 Dead 3 forever. And I mean, we're gonna have this exact conversation every month for the rest of our lives because there's 1,000 Left 4 Dead clones coming out.
Sure, clones. This is actually just Left 4 Dead again, though. Like when you play it, it feels like playing Left 4 Dead 3.
I heard it doesn't feel like it has as much personality, though.
It definitely doesn't have as much personality because the characters suck.
Well, it's also the beta. I would assume they're kind of just testing out mechanics at this moment.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably true. Maybe they did this in Left 4 Dead. I can't remember. I thought one cool thing was
Is it someone shouting pills here? Yeah, that was in Left 4 Dead.
yeah, no.
Yeah, famous line, pills.
Yeah, one of the like objective points you get to is this old broken down church, and the objective is actually to build the safe room to like end that chapter. By taking a bunch.
I don't think Left 4 Dead ever did that.
You're basically taking a bunch of.
In one of the like bonus DLC because there was so
that's
much
what I
on
was
the PC
thinking.
that I just didn't get.
Yeah,
that's what I'm really
usually
hoping
it was like
for.
lower a bridge or raise a bridge so you could actually access the safe room.
Yeah, this was you are building the safe room basically by taking like wood paneling and stuff, and it kind of turns that situation almost into like Black Ops Zombies because the zombies are coming, or the ridden
or
are
maybe
coming.
they got inspiration from that one DLC pack from Overcooked 2 where you had to do that while also serving the unbred food. So maybe it's from there.
Probably.
Yeah.
I thought that was a particularly cool segment.
It sounds cool. Honestly, all I want is a new Left 4 Dead that gets the support that PC version got. And now that we're on like a version, like we're in a time now where a lot of the kind of additional DLC and support goes kind of across the board as opposed to PC first and console players can just suck it. I'm a little more hopeful.
I obviously don't know about the support yet because we don't know what they're doing with this. This is very much mechanically a Left 4 Dead, not even clone, just exact replica in almost every way. Down to it has pipe bombs that do the thing you think of drawing the horde to it and then exploding. Like it's down to that sort of minimal thing. There's pills. There's also the defibrillator. Like everything about it is very much the same. I played a game called Death Trash. So this is a dystopian CRPG or like a hold on. I want to make sure this is only on PC because I think it is.
I have heard of this game, but I don't know anything about it.
Oh no, it's on everything apparently. It's in early access currently right now. Think of like an old Fallout but more actiony. It plays more like a top-down twin stick shooter of sorts. Yeah, top-down perspective
Slick
shooter. And the aesthetic is you are on a planet that has a bunch of disgusting, gory viscera and blood shit
This
everywhere.
makes me just think of Carry On.
Yeah, it's very much like that, but everywhere. Like a wasteland with just like flesh and gooey, bloody, just shit everywhere.
I'm looking at a screenshot. Can you explain to me what the puke bar is?
Yeah, so the puke bar is you can puke as an action and then pick it up and use it as lubricant to make some old machinery go.
What?
Yeah, it's one of those.
I mean, that's just true. That's
just how life works, man.
Yeah,
I
go to video games to get away from real life. If they're gonna make me just,
I go to video games to get away from my puke meter.
I think they referred to it originally as bioorganic lubricant that you can pick up, but yeah, you push a button to puke, and then you can use it in that regard.
It's kind of the like modern day key button from Conker's Bad Fur Day. I get it.
Sure, yeah. This is very much like almost like it feels very punk rock, and this game obviously doesn't care if you like it. It is because everything about it is kind of disgusting, and the enemies are way too hard and like make fun of you or swear at you, and yeah, everything about this is pretty off-putting, and I think that's what I like about it. It plays okay. I really want to know what the hell is going on in this world. So that's like the draw for me. I want to know why there is a flesh kraken and like this blood lake and like all this just weird shit going on. But like besides all that stuff, it's a pretty standard Fallout dystopian apocalyptic future. There's habitats of humanity that you can go to like buy stuff and talk to people, and there's raiders out in the wilderness that will try to, like, there's random encounters with things that are trying to kill you to steal shit off of you. There's like an android army or guards or something that are keeping the peace in these habitats, and there's like cool stuff in there that I want to know what's going on, but because it's in early access, I don't think I'm going to go back to it until it's at least fully out, because the thing I want is story, and early access usually means the story's not fully in yet.
Sure.
Yeah, mechanically it plays totally fine. I'm gonna jump one here. I played a game called House. Not much really to say about this. This is a $5 itch.io game. It's also on Steam, I think, for the same
Based
price.
on the TV show.
It is not based on the TV show. It is
Oh, man.
a game where you play a little girl named Tabby who is trying to survive a day in her house where everything is trying to kill her. It is a pixel horror game that is very much just like an escape room or a puzzly adventure where every time you die, you have to start the day over again. And at certain times, certain events happen that you have to make sure the sister and cat don't die, or the mother don't die, or you don't die. And there's different endings. And it all accumulates to daddy coming home at midnight. And then I just won't say any more about what happens there. I guess if anybody does want to check it out, there is a trigger warning. There's domestic violence and like kind of fucked up shit that happens in it, because of course there is.
I bet.
So yeah, but it's super cool. I really, really like that thing. It's one of those games where the game doesn't change ever. There's no difficulty. You just kind of learn how to play it and like where you have to be at certain times to do certain things. And you basically like make the perfect run at some point where you know everything that you have to do. It's really, really cool.
Like
I really
trial and error.
Trial and error, yeah. Again, $5. It's on itch.io and Steam. It's cool. I've only seen one out of multiple endings, and the game even said at the end, like, you think you survived or you think you did it, but this never ends, and then it just takes you back to the beginning. So I have to go back through and play more of it. Okay, let's talk about Boyfriend Dungeon, because this game kind of stealth dropped, and I'm so
Finally, a game to make you feel good.
Yes, Boyfriend Dungeon. So this came out on everything. I've been playing it on Game Pass. I'm assuming, Sean, you have as well.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this game for a while. I played this a few years ago at an indie show here in San Francisco. It just Nintendo basically announced that it's out today on their Nindy stream this week, and it dropped on everything at the same time. And yeah, it's a Game Pass title too.
Yeah. So for anybody who might not know what this is I will call it a roguelite dungeon, kind of not really roguey, but there's elements of it in there. Like a dungeon delving game with I think it's a roguelite for sure. Sure. With a dating sim. With a dating sim visual novel thing that kind of like directly impacts how you do the other part. And I think that's what I like about it. I like that you do the dating sim part not just because like I want my waifus or husbandos or any of that, but they also unlock different things. Like you use them as weapons, and they unlock different abilities.
What's better than a husbando with a six-pack is a husbando with a six-pack that also turns into a sword that causes bleed on enemies if it likes me enough.
Yeah, exactly. And that's really the draw for me, is I really like feeling like there's a reason to do the dating sim part and not just like some weird like hentai weeb shit or something. Like there's a mechanical reason to do all this stuff, and I really, really like that part. I was told there's not many people. I feel like I've met all of the weapons / people I can romance already, and I'm only a couple hours in, and that feels kind of like a bummer. Like it feels kind of small. I mean,
but they all have different like levels you need to get to them, and so if I'm trying to do my math right, there's got to be somewhere around 7 to 8 people you can go on dates with.
Sure, I've met 5 already, like right away.
I thought I saw preview pictures of like at least 10.
Maybe.
I don't know. Because I know there, like I'm looking at the achievement tracking, and there's one for like go on a date with every possible person, and I was at like somewhere around 40 to 50% after doing 4-ish.
Yeah,
So I want to say
sure.
there's maybe 8 at most. There's more characters than that because there's some that you can't
Yeah,
date
yeah.
and stuff. Like the
For
first
sure.
character you meet is like your cousin, who is
Do
like.
you want to know the
setting
answer?
you
I looked
and
it
stuff.
up.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, I do.
9.
Okay.
Okay,
Close.
so about halfway there. Yeah, it's pretty good. I would say the dungeoning part is not my favorite part, mainly because I don't think it controls very good.
Yeah, I think it's just. Yeah, it's kind of it's doing a few different things. I don't think it's doing anything exceedingly well, and we're also
Yeah.
coming right off of Hades.
Yeah, that's
Like
also
we
it.
played a lot of really good roguelikes recently.
Yeah.
I don't even think the dungeon crawling part like looks very good.
Sure.
Or when you're on like the overworld map and it's just this weird kind of low poly map and whatever. I kind of feel like it made like a pretty good writing with the dating sim.
Yep.
And then they were like, what is serviceable for these other parts?
Yeah,
And
I agree.
The dungeon part has depth for sure with the combat and stuff. But in terms of like going on the overworld map, and kind of how that looks, I think it's like serviceable. But I
Yeah.
think the shining part is the writing with your husbandos and these swords. And I think it is
Yeah.
a cool world. Like there's people that can't
Yeah.
turn into swords and they're wielders.
Yeah.
And there's people who can turn into swords, and they talk about like what it's like being a sword and how it's different than being a human. But what the people want to know, Paul, is who you going for?
I mean, so the thing is that mechanically all of them, the actual way to play this is to date all of them, then take them into the dungeon, level them up so that you can date them again, and just do that mechanically forever until you're maxed out.
Totally get it. I'm doing the same thing. But in your heart, who are you going for?
I mean, I'm straight, so Katarina.
That first guy is pretty dreamy. I mean, I'm also straight, but he's
wait,
still pretty dreamy.
Isaac?
Eric sucks. Sorry, not Isaac. The dude with the
Sunder?
flowing hair. Yeah, he's pretty dreamy. Although I've been warned that he's kind of a bad
So,
boy.
yeah, that part is like, yeah, I could see him maybe being kind of a douche, so I'm going to be a little wary about him too. I agree.
Eric is an ass, though. Like,
Which one is he? Is he
the blacksmith?
The
guy.
blacksmith? I found it really funny in this world where people turn into weapons. There's also a dude that just makes weapons, so you could be like just chopping away at a person weapon with a real piece of steel. And I thought that was so funny for
He's
some
also
reason.
like quasi racist towards people who can turn into weapons, and like he's like weirdly elitist. Like the dude's an asshole.
See, that's what the reason I like him is because you talk about your cousin for a second and he's like, yeah, your cousin's an asshole or an idiot or something or a loser. No, your cousin's a loser. I'm just like, yeah, he is. You're right, Eric.
What do you know?
Cousin's a piece of
the
shit.
The guy calls your cousin a loser. You stand up for your family and go, fuck you, man. You're
No.
literally trying to hit on me right now.
No, that cousin sucks. Cousin's terrible.
What's wrong with the cousin?
He sucks. He basically is talking in a weird way that I don't appreciate at the very beginning.
I don't understand this train of thought at all. But okay,
that's fine. It's disgusting, and I hate
just
the cousin.
met the
Fuck
painter
that guy.
chick. She does seem very cool. I gave her a bracelet, and that she was very happy about that. So
She seems
that's cool
way too excited about the first thing you can craft. That's true. Just like, hey, I crafted this bracelet, and yeah, she's super stoked about it. You can also craft wine, I think, or like something.
The only thing I've crafted is the bracelet and a bike helmet.
Oh, I don't have a bike helmet. I'm gonna have to go back in the
Bike helmet gives you
dungeon.
an extra slot to heal, but it takes away one of your zines.
Oh,
Which
I don't like.
no,
that.
I like that because right now I'm all about like I need to heal more than I need to use my fire attack. Zines are your special attack, and you get a fireball at the beginning.
I have recipes to craft 2 more, but I don't have the things for them, so they're useless right now to me. Gotta go back in the dunge, as they say.
Yeah, and they also refer to them as the dunj, D-U-N-J.
D-U-N-J, yeah.
The more you describe this game, the more insane this sounds. I just want to
It's
go
just
on record with that.
it's
It's
not
fun.
like crazy in any way. It's just goofy and lighthearted, and
Yeah.
it's nice. That's another thing. It's nice. There's
That's
kind of an
pretty nice.
interesting like warning at the front where it's like, hey, we would like to send you text messages in game. You know, a lot of it takes place kind of
From
on a
your
phone
mom.
screen from a character called Mom, and she just gives you encouragement and such. Would you like that? Can you turn that off and on? I thought that was kind of interesting because I'm sure there's
Yeah.
plenty of other people out there that do not want to hear from someone called Mom
I
all the
found
time
that
in game.
interesting too. That was an
I
interesting
just hadn't seen that
thing.
before. And yeah, no, they do a few things like that. So I think it's just a really nice game. Like, you know, and I know it's another dating sim, but it definitely reminds me of Dream Daddy, in which everything was
Sure.
just nice about that the whole time, and
Sure.
everyone was just positive, except Eric. Fuck that guy.
No, Eric's great. Fuck the cousin. Yeah. Eric's actually not great, but I just don't like the cousin. Isaac, honestly, is like the first weapon dude you talk to. I really like him. He's just business.
Let me put it another way. The cousin says, I pretty much moved out of here, so you can live rent free in this apartment on the beach all summer. That's a cool guy.
Sure. All right. The last thing I played was Blaster Master 03. And
Hey.
that game is, first of all, definitely more Blaster Master 0.
Yep.
That game is fantastic. I don't really know. So the story already is taking a weird turn.
Yep. Tell me more.
So you're on the Sophia planet. I just got what's his name in my back seat, and he just wants to see. Like, what? Why are you here? First of all, he's like, I just want to like see you die. Basically, it's like, oh, all right, well, thanks. Also, I give you homing attack because why not? It's like, yeah,
because he's like, I was gonna steal your tank, but you got back in time, so you can keep it.
Yeah, so ridiculous. It just brought over the stuff I liked from 2. I like the counter system is back. That counter system's good. I really like you have all the weapons and you just empower them right from the get-go. Even though it has led to some times where I felt like I was super underpowered because I didn't know where I was going and like got to take a few hits. It's like, oh, now I'm really underpowered for like this boss fight. So I guess.
I mean, you'll still experience that no matter what, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's just Blaster
That can
Master.
definitely happen in this game too.
Yeah. I haven't really reached any part yet that I feel like is really, really difficult, but I'm sure it's coming. More than anything, I just love the style of the game. I like the little cutscenes. It hasn't gone full anime story yet, but I know I can definitely feel it's getting there already.
It will happen. It will happen. There's no denying it. It goes full anime.
Yeah, so that's exciting. I think I fought like Evil Eve right away, and that was weird. She's just like Eve in a bunny suit or something, or like bunny ears.
Pretty much.
I don't know. That game is still super fun. The music is still great. That series is fast becoming like just one of my favorite series that not many people talk about, unfortunately.
I'm curious to see how your end reaction is going to be when you're done playing it. I am legit curious what your thoughts are going to be about the story.
Yeah. So the first dude you fight, you're fighting against the original Blaster Master car, right?
Yeah, that's the original Sophia the Third. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Matt, yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited to see more of the story stuff. Other than that, it's just been that 2 again, mechanically, and that I really like that because 2 was great.
You'll like. There's some changes even with the countering system you haven't touched yet, which you'll like. I think in 02 you had to choose which counter type you used. In 03 they're all active at once.
Oh, weird. Okay. That should be interesting. Okay.
Yeah, no, it works better than you think.
Yeah, because that sounds messy, but I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I can't wait to play more of it, but that's all I've been playing.
I didn't hear you talk about Blaster Master 0. Was that while I was gone?
That was while you were gone, yeah. I think it was the week before the game officially came out. I was finally able to talk about it.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, yeah, because I remember you had it, so okay. I played through a lot of a game called Dodgeball Academia. This came
Ooh.
to Game Pass last week.
Yeah.
Um, there's not really another kind of game like it. You play dodgeball. It's like a 3-on-3 game. The courts are pretty small, but everyone has like special attacks. Like your main character, when he throws the dodgeball, it's like on fire, and you have like a super meter that you can charge up and do a special attack. It's an RPG, so you get different characters that join your crew, and you can swap in. Like the top 3 in the list will be your party. And different characters have different ones. Like you get a girl who can shoot lightning dodgeballs. You get a kind of a healer. You can also, I'm playing on Xbox, so you throw with X. You can catch opposing balls with B, but characters handle differently. Like the lightning girl, she can't catch, but she can kick balls back. So if someone throws a ball, you can just kick it right back at them. Which sounds cool, but it doesn't. The counters don't do as much damage as if you just catch it and then throw like a flame ball, because then you can also light them on fire. So I don't really use her primarily unless my main guy gets knocked out. But some will require you to have to like charge up before you can like counter and stuff like that. So they all work a little differently, and you can kind of pick what you do. The art style is like Scott Pilgrim, so it's like Brian Lee O'Malley drew everything basically. That's how it kind of looks. I will say the kind of character movement in the combat, it feels pretty slow, but there's eventually like enough balls and stuff going around that you get pretty used to it. But I will say at the get go, it does feel a little slow.
Okay.
Story's pretty silly. You're a kid that transferred to Dodgeball Academia or whatever the school is, where everyone plays dodgeball and goes to class to learn about dodgeball and yada yada. And there's just a big tournament that you're slowly going through. I like it, but the one thing that's kind of really putting me off is I'm just so tired of all the mission designs. Everything basically it takes place on the campus, and the mission is, why don't you walk to the other side of the campus, play dodgeball against someone, and why don't you walk back here and we'll talk about it. That's your
Oh.
mission. And it's just back and forth and back and forth. And there's this Pokemon style system of when another character sees you, you will play dodgeball against them. There's like, not quite
Yeah.
random encounters, so you can't avoid them. But, the game's set up in chapters, and it'll show on the map, like, these people are going to play dodgeball against you if you go too close to them. Sometimes you just have to, because that's just the way the pathway bottlenecked, yada yada. Or you can avoid them and stuff like that. But so you're going back and forth while having to walk through people's gaze. I just wish the mission structure I wish it was better. Like there's like one other area, it's like a forest behind the school, and I feel like every third mission is, oh, we should go back to the forest and walk across the forest again. And I'm just so tired of that over and over again, to the point where I don't know if I'm gonna finish it. There are side quests as well. Again, those pretty much amount to, hey, I can't find my glasses. I think one of these 3 people stole them. So you need to walk across campus, play dodgeball against number 1, walk across campus, play dodgeball against number 2, and so on, and then go back and eventually you find the glasses. Yada yada. The writing is fun and funny, like the whole concept is pretty silly. And I do like playing the dodgeball, but I feel like it's just kind of missing a bit more variety. That I'm like, every time they say we need to go back into the forest, I'm like, I cannot believe you're making me walk back there again. So we'll see how much I continue playing it. I've put about 6 hours into it so far, which I believe is about 3/4 of the way. So I might just muscle through to the end. But hey, it's on Game Pass. I think it's definitely worth trying because it's kind of a unique game. And after Knockout City, another dodgeball game came out, and that's weird.
Yeah.
That's life.
Yeah, looking at it, it actually looks like it's pretty inspired by the Kunio-kun Super Dodgeball games. Like,
I don't know what that is. So sure.
straight up, one of the characters looks like Kunio-kun.
I'll take your word for it. I don't know what that is. So
River City Ransom.
what about it?
No, I'm just saying, like, it's the characters from that series.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, maybe. I don't know that series, so they definitely could. I wouldn't be surprised.
That's the only dodgeball game that really existed back in the day. It was an arcade game, NES game, and it had a couple spin-offs that didn't come out over here. But like, looking at the trailer on Steam, one of the characters just straight up looks like Kunio.
Which one's that? Oh, I mean, you're not gonna know their name, so
yeah.
don't worry about it. Okay, other than that, I played 2 different rally racing games this week. because Game Pass just opened the flood in the last week or two and is not stopping. All of like the recent Codemaster games are on there. I was a huge fan of Dirt 5 earlier this year, so I was like, hey, why don't I give Dirt 4 a try? Which was my first time playing a rally racing style game, and I don't like rally. I've learned. Um, for those who don't know what rally racing is, you're by yourself on a track. You're just kind of judged on how fast you get through the track or how well you do it. Dirt 4 specifically, it's kind of very technical, and you'll have kind of someone in your ear talking about what style of turn is coming up. So it'll be like 6 right 200, left or hairpin left 100. And that's the kind of turn coming up, how sharp it is, and they keep talking over and over and over again. And clearly people like rally racing. There's a lot of dirt games, there's a lot of rally games. This is my first experience. This is not for me. I'm not liking this. Yeah, and I don't get to race against other people. I just have to like race as best as I can and hope my time is better than other people. So it's basically just kind of time attack mode over and over again. I'm actually kind of surprised that Dirt 5 was a standard racing game, and I almost feel bad for people who love Dirt if they were expecting Rally and they got Dirt 5. I could see being a fan of that series and then getting upset about that, but I really like what Dirt 5 is, so I was happy in that capacity. Also, going from 5 to 4, 5 looks so much better.
I'm sure, yeah.
So you're just kind of taking a step back. I mean, this one has the Xbox's like built-in auto HDR, but I feel like 5 was like designed. Like, there's a sunset or a sunrise in every single race. Like they designed to like take advantage of those colors and the light. So I think 5's a better game. And then what also came out, another rally game, is Art of Rally, and this is a much more kind of conceptual racing game. It is a lot cartoonier looking. You don't have someone in your ear about the corners and whatnot, but it is still a rally game in terms of we're going to show you how long the track is. We're going to base you just on your time, and then you will show you how the other people's time was. You're racing by yourself. I'm liking it a bit more because I don't have someone constantly talking in my ear about what the turns coming up are. This has more of a top-down perspective, so you can kind of see them coming. But in return, it has the most like royalty-free ass kind of music I've heard in a while, which is not ideal. So I just put a podcast on, and that's ideal.
Yeah.
This one's pretty peaceful and like it's a great podcasting game. And it gives me vibes of this other game I played a few years back, also on Game Pass, Lonely Mountain Downhill, which is a biking game where you're navigating down just these weird bike trails. And they look a little similar, kind of low poly assets and whatnot. I think Lonely Mountain Downhill is much more fun. So if you're giving Art of Rally a try and it's not quite doing it for you, but you feel like there's something there, I would recommend looking at Lonely Mountain Downhill. I really enjoyed that game quite a bit. And that's what I've been playing. So let's do a bit of news.
All right.
All right, we got some heavy rumors. Again, these are just rumors, but there was kind of a lot of them, and a bunch of the sites picked it up, of a possible Grand Theft Auto remastered trilogy that would include GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas.
Okay.
What do you guys think of that?
Not for me.
I would have assumed you're a big fan of this trilogy.
I love it. That's why I played like 500 hours of each of these when they came out. I'm not going back to it.
You don't need to go back.
Yeah, that's kind of more of it.
What about you, John?
And I can see the merit for it, and it gives them more time to work on 6.
Yeah.
But like, how are they going to space these out? Is it coming out as one gigantic collection? Is it going to be every couple of months you get another remaster?
This would
like how are they going to do this?
It sounds like one collection.
God, that's going to be a fucking massive game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's going to be the size of GTA 5 by itself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Looks like it would be on pretty much every console except Switch, including Stadia. This fall, late October, early November, using Unreal Engine with a mix of new and old graphics and an updated UI. Those are the rumors.
Cool.
I think it makes sense. And there was some rumors about a week or so ago of Rockstar possibly looking into their back catalog and remaking some stuff. So things are kind of lining up. I would not be surprised if this gets fully announced.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was real. Yeah.
Yeah. True.
The biggest news of the week is Idris Elba is going to voice Knuckles in Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
This is incredible casting as far
Yeah.
as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
John, what do you think?
Sure, why not? He's
Yeah.
a good choice for it. I'm just curious what direction they're gonna go with for him.
I mean, I'm hoping Knuckles is going to be kind of a badass because Idris Elba plays a lot of badasses. But Idris Elba, self-proclaimed the Black Superman himself, is going to voice Knuckles. This is some inspired casting.
But Knuckles starts as a villain, so
I
what
bet that's what's
direction are
going to
they
happen.
gonna
I
take
bet.
him in?
I mean, I bet what's going to happen is Knuckles is going to be a villain at the beginning of Sonic 2, and they're going to have to come together to fight a bigger threat because every second movie, that's what the storyline is.
You know what? That's a fair point, actually.
I mean, isn't that what basically happened in the games, anyways, either as well?
Yeah, he realized he was being screwed over by Robotnik, and then they teamed up.
I bet this is exactly what's going to happen. I would love. I tweeted about this. I would love if Knuckles had the disdain for Sonic that Idris Elba showed at the beginning of the Suicide Squad that I was just talking about earlier.
Yeah.
My kingdom for Knuckles telling Sonic to fuck off, the way Idris Elba told every character to fuck off at the beginning of the Suicide Squad.
Something
There's no
tells
way
me they
that
will not be able to do that.
There's
Yeah.
absolutely no way that's happening, but that's the real shame is the Knuckles that could be would be incredible, and we're gonna get this like watered down Idris Elba, but I hope there's still a real flavor there, you know?
I want to know what led to him taking the role other than money. Like, was he just like, this seems like a good test of my abilities. I want to see how good I am as a voice actor. Does he actually like the Sonic franchise? Or is it just straight up like, yeah, money?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna assume it's money. I mean, I'm sure there'll be an interview coming out where he's like, "Oh yeah, I played Sonic on the Sega Genesis," and it's like, but is he just saying that? Also, who cares though? What does that have to do with anything? If he's a good actor, so
Well, it's funny that the Sonic movie, I guess movies have been just attracting like pretty well-known actors, like obviously Jim Carrey and now Idris Elba. And like he's in
Yeah.
high demand right now, so it's not like he's hurting for work.
that's true. I don't know. I'm very curious what would it be about this? Yeah, maybe he is just a big fan of the series, and he's like, I would love to play Knuckles. Who knows? Who do you think they should add? Like, who's the next Sonic character, and who should voice it? Don't say Danny DeVito. That just goes
Well, we
without
already
saying.
know Tails is in it. We already know Knuckles is in it. So that does kind of only leave
So
like
Amy?
Amy. Yeah.
Amy would be probably the next obvious one. Who would be a good Amy? Like Charlize Theron. No, these actors are just too good for this movie, but like she'd be pretty good. Or would you want someone with like a really like squeaky voice?
Ugh. I never
I
want a
have
really
no
squeaky
idea.
voice.
Sugar from YT
Oh,
The
God.
Zone. Remember Sugar?
No, no.
I do.
She did that Sailor Moon character.
Reenie, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Greenie. Yeah, yeah.
Mini Moon.
There it was. That's what Sailor Moon. All right, here's kind of a double pronged story. So the main part that is interesting to me, is the studio behind Journey to the Savage Planet, a game I quite enjoyed last year. They were bought by Stadia, and then when Stadia pretty much shut down its game development studios, they all got sent their way. They pretty much reformed and made a new studio called Raccoon Logic, and they bought back the rights to Journey of the Savage Planet from 505 Games. So they own their game again. Congrats to them for sure. That's great.
Okay.
I would love to see more from that. The announcement, and so the studio is called Raccoon Logic. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, this is not what this article is about. I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
Oh, that is. Yeah, so that's the next part of this thing. When this studio was announced, along with it came like a picture of the studio, which was like
Yeah, I see
like
it here.
20 like white dudes or whatever, something like that. That was kind of a big thing.
Sure.
A bunch of Twitter, at least that I was following along with, kind of jumped on it in terms of how come there's no women at this studio. Which obviously generated a big conversation about, oh, we were trying to hire women, but there weren't many women engineers, and we actually do have one woman on the studio. That's where this 4.7% of the studio is women.
Did they do the math themselves? Are they the ones that said 4.7%?
I was wondering
No,
about the
that's
4.7.
That's what Kotaku said. I don't think anyone would come out and pridefully
well, that's the
say
thing. I could see
4.7.
everyone slamming him if they said that. If I said like, yeah, this household has like 4.7% women in it, you'd be like, what the fuck? You're a married man. Why the fuck are you saying something shitty like that?
That Bloomberg article said that the bottom line was 3%, and we're above that, okay?
Yeah, exactly. That would be really stupid, and I could see slamming people for that. That's absolutely fucking stupid.
So they didn't really come out and necessarily do anything or say anything wrong. It was just kind of, it came at an exact time in the industry where a lot of people are looking at studios, and not seeing kind of any women being respected or in positions of power. We're literally still going through the Activision Blizzard stuff right now. So it was just kind of so the internet just immediately jumped on these guys as a way to attack them. I'm not saying what's right or wrong here.
Yeah.
Although I definitely do think more of your company should be for the women. That's every company, let alone game design. This company is also weird. Alex Hutchinson, who's one of the leads here, has said some very weird stuff in the past.
That's why I saw this trending. He's the guy who said like streamers and LPers should be paying for licenses to.
So this Kotaku article listed 3 things in the past he has said. I'll just kind of read some of these quotes. They said they were inches away from adding women to Far Cry 4. That's why there's no playable women in Far Cry 4. But they were inches away from doing it. Okay, thanks, Alex Hutchinson. Other stuff. He thinks game journalists exhibit subtle racism by giving Japanese developers an easy ride.
Do they give Japanese developers an easy ride?
Do they? I remember that era where everyone was just shitting on a game because it came from Japan. I remember the opposite.
I remember that
and then,
too.
Yes, the one you had mentioned, John, is that streamers should pay to get to play and stream the games. They should be buying a license like any real business and paying for the content they use. What? So I'm not coming out here and endorsing Raccoon Logic as a fantastic studio. I just wanted to say I liked the last game they did. I hope they make more games. And it was a nice feel-good story that they were able to buy it back from Stadia and 505 Games. It seems everything around Raccoon Logic is kind of odd right now. Last bit of news story here. PAX Australia was selling tickets to an in-person show until early this week when they replaced it. It is now an online show.
Sure. Okay.
This is the trend going to go forward, right?
Oh, this is news to me.
Oh man,
when is PAX Australia supposed to have been? No, fuck no. But I'm saying like PAX West is in what, a month?
So that's the thing, is PAX West is still on, and as far as the last update for PAX West is you have to be vaccinated to go now.
When was PAX Australia supposed to happen?
I'm seeing October, but I don't know anything more specific here.
Yeah, this article didn't mention when PAX Australia normally happens. And this is just dead air, so I'm just gonna continue on.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to find it here.
I'm guessing now PAX West is going to be canceled. If it hasn't already happened, I bet it's another weird thing where they need the city to cancel it
Hey,
so they don't lose out on some like insurance or something.
but then everyone's gonna be so fucked with plane tickets and like hotels and everything. Like dude, that's why I'm so weird and nervous about any cons at this point right now.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
we got asked like by all our viewers, like, are we going to PAX West? I'm like, no, we can't even cross the border yet. Ignoring Reese and myself, but like,
I think you might be able to, because my mom's been trying to come down, and I think if you get like a special COVID test beforehand, I think you are allowed to come down here now.
is that the case? I thought like you needed a special reason for it still. And like going to a con
I could be
didn't count.
misremembering, but because my mom's just been giving me updates because she's planning to come down like in November,
Yeah.
and we're also planning to go up in October. And I know
We were gonna have
for us
Reese's
going up,
mom come up this month, and we were looking into it, and it's just like,
I
no,
think
it's
she
not
can.
doable.
I think she can, because
can't.
as far as my mom had told me, I can go up there right now.
Mm.
American can also go up there right now. They have to get a COVID test within 72 hours, a specific kind, but they should be able to.
Oh, right, that's what it was. On the 7th or 8th, we open our borders to the states, but it's the other way around isn't open yet. At least for
I
for
think that might be
driving, the
the
land
case.
borders are still closed, but I think flying is still okay within certain reasons. But flights
Yes,
are stupid expensive.
yeah. Honestly, like, who's buying a ticket to PAX seeing these numbers? I don't think that's wise. I'm not going to a convention until there has been like a series of good conventions. Like, yeah. I guess we'll see what PAX West does. That'll do it for news. Let's do some questions. Pop Down Perspective is email address. It's also at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box if you would like to send a question in. I can read this first one from Kevin. I've been playing Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. I've done everything in the game, collectibles, hard mode, time trials, but I love it so much that I don't want to stop playing it. What are some ways to extend your playtime with a game? For example, I did a no-death run of the game as a way to add more challenge.
Yeah, that's a pretty standard one for sure.
No death run, speed run.
Speed run, yeah.
Those are the easiest ones.
I don't think I've ever been in this scenario.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you just can't keep buying games like we do. So
it's true. Maybe hold the controller upside down.
I know one that's big in the Souls community, and I guess any game with like multiple different things where the weapon or like attacks change dramatically how that game plays, is doing a like magic run, doing an archer run, doing like specific weapon
fist
runs.
only.
Yeah, fist only. Pacifist runs for games that can.
You're thinking maybe like a funky mode only run.
Okay.
I mean, that's easy mode, but yeah.
That could, I mean, yeah,
there's no character classes in this, but I know there's different characters, so.
Yeah.
I don't know. What if you know, if you have your TV like in front of the couch or in front of the bed, and then you lay on the bed and hang your head off the bed so you're upside down to the TV, and then you play it normally like that.
Head rush challenge.
Nice. All right.
Beerio Kart
Mm-hmm.
Comes to mind. So what if every time, you picked up a banana, you took a drink, something like that?
Yep. Not dangerous at all.
I mean, that's a common like Twitch stream. So yeah, makes sense.
All right.
Yeah, every time you finish a level, you have to do 90 push-ups.
Yeah, there you go.
Jesus.
All right. Joseph writes, at one point in this podcast long and rich history, the lore of Where's Waldo was brought up seemingly annually, usually by coincidence. Yet, I cannot recall the last time I heard TDP discuss this. I blame COVID disrupting everything. Regardless as to why this culture...
There's less travel these days, man. He can't move around.
Exactly.
Everybody knows where Waldo is at home.
Yeah, Waldo's stuck at home.
Yeah, he's stuck at home on the couch. He gained 15 pounds.
Yeah. Regardless as to why this is culturally significant tradition is broken, I intend to bring it back with a brief reinstatement of the lore, followed by a question. Three wise
doing God's work here.
Three wise hosts, John, Paul, and Sean, preach Waldo lore to all who would listen. It is now well known that Waldo has a magical walking stick. This walking stick has the ability to send its user anywhere in the world and anywhere in time. The power of the walking stick attracts the ire of Waldo's rival Oddlaw. Oddlaw attempts many times to steal it from Waldo throughout the series. My question is, what kind of magical object would you want, even if it meant having a rival trying to steal it from you? What magical properties would it need to make it worth constantly being pursued by a backward spelt self?
I got Nace chasing me.
Yeah, you got Nace.
Do I have
You got
Naj or however you say
Naj?
Jonathan backwards?
Oh my god, the full name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Notch?
Nat Naj.
Natanaj.
Natanaj.
Oh, that's pretty good.
It would be definitely a pair of glasses that lets you change your form into any form you want. It's a shape-shifting set of glasses.
Okay. But if you take them off, do you immediately change back?
Only if you like press a button on it.
Okay.
Man.
'Cause otherwise, how can you do costumes without glasses? That'd be kind of.
Well, I'm saying that's like the one downside. You got to keep them on because I'm thinking like in the silly romantic comedy movie of your life, and you're the person's trying to take your glasses off to like lean in for a kiss, and you're like, oh, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Sorry, got a stomach problem. And then you got to run away awkwardly, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I'd want some like cosmetic changing thing.
Paul, you would be Luop.
Luop.
Luop? That's the best one. That one's the nicest one to say. Luop?
Being pursued, always being pursued by a backward spelled self sounds fucking horrible. I saw It Follows. It's like the scariest movie ever.
I mean, so you would hope that it's something that can help you get away, right?
Yeah.
Because Waldo can teleport. John's thing can at least disguise him a little bit, although he would look for the glasses, right?
Well, like I said, unless I pick a character that doesn't have glasses.
Oh, right. Okay.
Like, one of the first things that came to my mind was like a wallet that every time you open it, like any amount of money you want is in it.
Okay.
I mean, that sounds like a good idea.
There's no kind of like, so what's your best case of like escape? Paying to like get on a car ride away from?
Well, I mean, you could literally never go home. You could just always keep going, right? You have infinite money.
Just
you
throw a cloud of money and then attract a crowd of people around you to distract people.
You could just constantly travel. You don't have to like worry about rent or a job or anything. You just buy your way around.
Yeah, you can just always pay for a hotel easily. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yep.
Oh yeah, Assassin's Creed literally does that. The money cloud. I forgot about that.
How about like a something I can put on that lets me go through walls, Shadowcat style?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Okay.
That'd be a cool one, and that'll help me get away. I mean, in all of these scenarios, don't go home. That's just rule number one. Or at least don't let the backwards person know where your home is.
That's why Waldo's never home.
He's always on the run.
He's permanently on the run. Yeah.
Yeah, and I bet he misses his family. He has a dog. Like that's the sad tragedy.
The dog comes with him.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's still a sad tragedy that Waldo can never stop running. He can never rest.
Yeah, man. It's bad.
He has to keep one eye open at all times. The dog, like, they take shifts to sleep.
Yeah.
You can see the shot where he sees his girlfriend off in the distance, but he can't go in and talk to her because it puts her in danger.
Yep.
From Andrew. Yep. So I wanted to address Sean's fears about Picross for a moment. They are not reusing puzzles yet. Let's take a 5x5 grid. The possible amount of puzzles is 2 to the 25th power, or 33,554,432. But for the sake of the argument, let's say that only 0.1% of those possibilities are any fun to complete. That's still 33,554 possible 5x5 puzzles. There have currently been about 30 Picross games made by Jupiter, and I can guarantee you that there are not 1,000 5x5 puzzles in each game, not even 100. The numbers go really crazy if you expand beyond 5x5, so that being said, do you have any other beliefs about games that are really fun to believe but absolutely get destroyed by any critical thinking?
I think Big Picross wrote this in.
Yeah,
Trying to throw us
definitely.
off the trail.
Yeah.
Andrew's been bought out.
Yeah. It's a fake name. This is from Mr. Picross. I don't believe this for a second. I'm not even going to check
It's
the math.
Wedna. It's Wedna wrote this. Evil Andrew.
Wordna.
Yeah, Wordna. There you go.
Wordna. Yeah, I'm not even going to check that math. It's probably wrong. Who could even do that kind of math?
Right, exactly.
A calculator.
I don't know. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
These things lie.
Yeah.
They've been known to lie.
Yep.
Calculator's famous for lying.
Yep.
My favorite belief is that Monopoly is fun. That definitely gets destroyed by critical thinking.
Yeah.
And similar vein, it's just a quick hop. You can just replace Monopoly with Mario Party.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that one doesn't get destroyed by critical thinking. In fact, Mario Party gets destroyed by critical thinking.
Wow.
If you stop and think about what you're doing.
Wow. No, I can't even legitimately can't think of any.
Yeah, like it's fucking terrible, but I really like the creepypastas that are like listening to the Lavender Town music will make you go crazy and shit like that.
Oh my god, those.
Like I really like this idea that if you listen to that song too long, you'll just actually go insane or something.
Hyper realistic blood came out of this black Sonic the Hedgehog cartridge with no label.
Yeah.
And it said, "You're next."
Yeah, exactly.
Grandma raised her hand and she read, "He is alive."
It's so good.
Okay, Suku writes, John is the Nintendo guy, and I have been told that Sean is the Xbox dude, and Paul is the PC gaming master race.
I'm a race? Okay.
Have you ever considered bringing on a fourth member to round out the group? Someone knowledgeable in Sony? Do you agree with the label that has been adhered to you? And to double dip, I'd say John is also Sega and Sean is mobile.
Well, I'm playing Sega Picross right now, so I don't think I can dispute the double dip.
If we're double dipping, Sony's my console of choice. So
Yeah.
But you don't have the PS5 and John and I do.
yeah, because I can't buy it in a store.
Because you can't physically find them, yeah.
Yeah.
But which one of us owns two PSPs?
I
This
do.
guy.
I own
Yeah,
like
I was
3.
gonna say John
think I own
probably
like
has like
4.
5 of them.
Okay.
I can see at least 3 right now.
Which one of us owns a Game Boy Micro? This guy.
Me. I
Oh,
can get it
man.
right now.
Okay, do you have it? Do you have a 2DS?
Yes, I have one right over there.
Oh my god.
You have the
Oh, wait,
green
no.
2DS?
Wait, what did they when they made the clamshells, they called them new 2DS? What the fuck did they call those?
did.
So I have a new 2DS, not an original 2DS.
Okay, so then the most important one, obviously, the original 2DS, the cheese wedge.
I do not have the cheese wedge, but I do have this
Okay.
ladybug skinned Game Boy Micro.
Oh.
Okay, well, I mean, mine's the Famicom, which is that's
This
just a
somehow
reference to
still has
another
a charge.
Nintendo
I have not
console.
charged this for 7 years.
All I'm saying is, true Nintendo fans have the Wedge 2DS, and that's me.
Do you actually have that? Like you just
I
bought
do.
it?
It's in a box.
Yeah, I remember him getting that. I think 'cause
okay.
you got it like super cheap somewhere, didn't you? Because you were just like, I might as well get this.
Recently, yeah, it was like
Mm.
$50 refurbished from Nintendo. It was
Oh.
gorgeous.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that those are pretty accurate. I think those are our 3 primary consoles we pick stuff up
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
No, we're not bringing on someone whose primary console is Sony.
Yeah.
I play like most first party Sony games. So does John. I don't know. You don't play Last of Us.
I just don't like Last of Us.
Yeah. So I think
But like,
I play
I'll play
most
Ratchet
first
and
party.
Clank stuff like that. So I'll touch some of
Yeah.
them.
I'm trying to think if I think the only like recent first party Sony one that I've missed was like Days Gone. But for the most part, I think I've played kind of all the big Sony ones. But yeah, it's just not my primary one. But what makes that real nice though is that means anytime I go to my PS5, whatever game I am playing looks gorgeous because I'm not comparing it to a bunch of indie games. What about you, Paul? Are you agree you're the PC master race?
Again, I'm a race of people.
Yeah.
What?
Well, I'm asking,
Yeah.
do you agree that you're the race?
This is the Paul race. All
Oh,
the Pauls.
oh God, we got to do something about that. Sure, yeah.
And yeah, I think I just fit a bunch of different markers. But if I had to pick any specific, then yeah, it would be Nintendo easily, and then probably Sega.
If I had to pick a console, it's Sony, because I mean I don't have to care about Xbox. They put everything on PC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Xbox would be like my third or fourth pick because I was on it a lot in 360 in the original, but I dropped off at Xbox One.
Sure.
All right.
I think we're at Lineback, and I think it's me.
Yeah.
Lineback. My co-workers keep quitting, and now we're understaffed. I'm doing 12-hour shifts for most each week. How do you stay sane during such times?
That's the trick. You don't.
That's rough.
You know what? You remember it's not forever. If things get really bad, you try to just remember the money you're making.
Yeah, I
doing
mean
it.
that's the thing is you're gonna make a bunch of money right now, so hopefully you can afford to like take some unpaid times. I'm assuming they're saying 12-hour shifts, so they're working hourly as opposed to
Yeah.
like salary, is my guess.
Yeah.
So
Think-
hopefully you can take some unpaid days off because you kind of earned the bonus money ahead of time.
Also, I hope that this is somebody who is between the age of like 18 to like 30 something without a family that they're not seeing. Like, if you're like single and just working, fucking do it, man. Make that money. Do it while you can.
It still gets hard though. Like that's just a lot of work.
It's still physically exhausting. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
with Sean on this.
Yeah. Now might be the time to try and kind of negotiate like better wages and stuff. I don't know what that scenario's like, but if they're getting like desperate for who they do have, then if it was, actually I was going to say if it's me, but that's not true because my visa makes things weird. But typically this is a time maybe you look elsewhere. You do still have the job. That's the best time to job hunt is while you have a job if you really are disliking it.
I mean, being overworked is also a major thing too. So like, it is worth keeping in mind. Like, try to find something else if you can. But I know that the pandemic and being at work for 12 hours a day complicates things a lot.
Yeah. I mean, all right, if we're gonna get in the nitty gritty, you got to start taking a lot of bathroom breaks. You got to start kind of scheduling them, but not on a schedule that people can track, because then they're going to realize you're taking too many bathroom breaks. So you got to kind of get a system going, and you got to keep your DS in your pocket or your phone, so that when you're in there, you're hanging out. You're getting that time back. They're paying you to play video games.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lineback even says, dude, how bad it's gotten here with the pandemic. I don't have any other job options right now, to be honest.
Sure. Makes sense.
So yeah,
you walk a little bit
that's the thing.
slower.
It complicates things a lot.
You take things a little bit slower. You're not rushing anywhere. You're not breaking a sweat. You got 12 hours to kill, so you're gonna walk nice and slow over to that cash register.
Sure.
Next up from Dead and Sky, did you ever play humongous entertainment games when you were a kid? I think I played like a putt-putt game once at like a Radio Shack demo. Otherwise, no, not as a kid.
No.
I've played them more as an
Sam, right?
adult. Yeah, Pajama Sam, putt-putt, Spy Fox.
Played Pajama Sam at a friend's. I didn't own any of them.
No.
Decoy Troy writes, "What's a game that you've started multiple times thinking, this time I'll actually finish this game, but still have yet to do so?
Bayonetta 2.
Mm.
Oh, wow, really? You haven't finished Bayonetta 2?
No, that's why I'm doing it for game clearing.
That's ridiculous. To like, just thinking of you, you love Bayonetta.
Yeah, 2 just didn't click with me for some reason. I got to the end of chapter 1 like 2 or 3 times and just never did it. Never moved on.
Oh, well, you're in for a treat. That game is awesome. And it's just funny. I'm thinking because like I didn't finish Bayonetta 1, but I played through all of 2, and then we just like switched. I don't think I have an answer for this. It is pretty rare that I start into a game multiple times.
Yeah, if I'm gonna go into a game again, it's because I'm going to finish it this time, and I do. Otherwise, I won't bother. I'll just leave it shelved.
Yeah, the closest I might have is like I tried Dragon Age Origins a few times, but again, that was like close to when it kind of came out. So yeah, it's pretty rare I go back to something and give it another try.
The closest for me is Mass Effect Andromeda. I played it once, and then I started it again, and then just stopped right away.
That one comes to mind. I haven't gone back to it though, but I plan to. I guess I did just go back to Outer Wilds with the mentality I'm going to finish it this time, but that was like that was 2 attempts, and I did it on the second attempt. But yeah,
I think it still counts, so yeah. All right, VGC Kenny writes in with a book. A trailer drops. You see, it is an open world game in a real historical setting with maybe a few supernatural elements thrown in for flavor. The main character is part of a generations old group that fights for the world against a different generations old group. However, the title drop comes in, and it is not a new Assassin's Creed. It's Executioner's Oath, or some name, but for simplicity's sake, Executioner's Oath. Another company's long-awaited answer to Assassin's Creed. Executioner's Oath might look and seem similar to Assassin's Creed, but it is built on its own engine and does its own thing as much as possible. Upon release, it is clear that Executioner's Oath is a good game in its own right. And it has one thing it does exceptionally better than Assassin's Creed, as well as some other things that can be debated as being better than Assassin's Creed, but not by much. Still, Assassin's Creed, as strong as it is for as long as it's been going, does Executioner's Oath get left by the wayside, never to be seen again? Or does it succeed in punching above its weight and start another series that stands as an equal and competitor to Assassin's Creed?
Here's the question. How big is the studio making Executioner's Oath? Are we assuming of equivalent size of Ubisoft? Because that's a pretty high bar.
Here's the other question. Which streamer did they pay to play it?
Also that.
I don't think the studio size necessarily matters because
studio size matters because it usually pairs up with marketing budget. Because like half the reason Assassin's Creed still has as much pull as it does is because Ubisoft has marketing power.
Yeah.
Sure, but you could also answer this by if the company's big enough, they're going to make a sequel out of it because they kind of need this franchise to work for them. But I think the core of the question is how it's getting received, and in the kind of the standalone thing, like are people going to see it as like a worthy other thing, or is it always just going to be a Assassin's Creed clone? Assassin's Creed is the real thing. This is yada yada. Like I think they were also talking about this in the Discord, and then the other example was like Breath of the Wild and
Genshin Impact,
Immortals.
Oh, I see.
I think games like that can break out on their own. I think that can happen.
Yeah.
I'm just blanking. Like I guess Genshin Impact's one of the few examples I can think of. Because that's just basically Breath of the Wild, but it's doing its own thing.
The free-to-play really helps it, yeah.
That too, yeah.
I think like no matter what, when these games come out, they're going to be compared to kind of the best of that style.
Yeah.
Like Genshin Impact came out and wasn't compared to Immortals, is compared to Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild is usually regarded much better than Immortals. I think if another one came out, they would still call it a Breath of the Wild clone. If they got a sequel, though, like if an Immortals 2 came out, though, I don't know if they would still be like it's another Breath of the Wild clone. They might just be like it's another Immortals. That also gives it the opportunity to whatever was different with Immortals to maybe kind of expand on that or add in additional more elements
Sure.
that are unique to it. Specific to Assassin's Creed, though, we have had some very similar clones. Middle Earth, the Mordor games,
Oh yeah.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, Shadow of Mordor,
Shadow of Mordor, and is it War of Mordor? Shadow
Battle
of
for
War.
Middle Earth.
Shadow of War.
No, Shadow of War.
Oh,
Yeah,
never mind.
yeah.
Yeah.
Those are Assassin's Creed clones, and I remember the first one definitely got that kind of stuff, but people definitely well regarded it because it was doing some cool things. It had the Nemesis system. I feel like the second one wasn't as well regarded,
It
but I
got
also
overshadowed by the monetization things that were going on in it.
yeah,
I
it
remember
also
that specifically.
that was kind of the end of it. Like no one really talks about either of those games anymore. That could also be because they're licensed games. Like who really knows? And then the one I'll also mention is Ghost of Tsushima is an Assassin's Creed clone of the old Assassin's Creed style. I guess same. So was Mordor. No one's kind of doing the new Assassin's Creed one. Although Assassin's Creed is kind of at this point just doing Witcher.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So, I bet if we get a Ghost of Tsushima 2, people aren't going to say, "Oh, it's like a Assassin's Creed. It's like one of those original kind of Assassin's Creed games." They're going to say, "Here's a new Ghost of Tsushima."
Hmm.
Yeah, I think definitely if it gets a sequel, it's fine. So if it survives long enough, but yeah, I definitely games that parrot like other game style but are done well can stand out on their own. Last question for Phantom Aegis. Hello, TDP crew. It's been 35 years and still counting for Metroid. What's a fond memory you've had of the franchise? It can also be finding out that Samus is a girl. Definitely Super's the one I actually dug into the most, so I
Yeah.
already knew that. They're pretty upfront about it at that point.
Yeah. Playing Super the first time, there was nothing like it. It was
Yeah.
so good.
Super.
I'm not the biggest Metroid fan. I just haven't played a ton of them. I just more kind of played a little bits of like a lot of them. I want to say maybe the most recent Samus Returns I played the most of, but and this is a weird one. Other M was one that I was reviewing and I just sat down and every time I was kind of getting like distracted by something else or like wanting to do something, I just kind of kept saying, "No, you got to finish this game. You got to play this game. You got to play this game." And I finished it like in a whole evening, and that was just kind of great that I just kind of got that done. Just from like a productivity standpoint, like I buckled down and I
finished my
played the one game.
chores.
Yep. So that I'm proud of that.
I distinctly remember going to a friend of the family's place, and they had Metroid 1, and I had never played Metroid before. So, like, I thought it was a big deal when I managed to find the Morph Ball because I went to the right first, and I had no idea
Yeah.
what to do, couldn't make any progress, and I found out, like, they play the jingle like, "Oh, what'd that do? I don't know what it does. Like, what do I do?" And then when I figured out you could turn into a ball now, I'm like, "Oh, that's so cool!" I was
See,
also, like, 7.
my first one was Metroid 2. It was one of the first Game Boy games I had, and I just did not like it. It was so hard.
Sure.
Yeah, no, Metroid 2 is pretty rough.
That's going to do it for questions. If you'd like to send in a question for the next week's show, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. What is your game of the week?
Picross, Sega.
I'm gonna give it to Boyfriend Dungeon. I think Zero's gonna get more time.
I think I may have enjoyed Boyfriend Dungeon the most this week, but I played a ton of
Dodgeball.
Dodgeball Academia, so I think I'll be giving it to that. As for things to check out, we recorded our Backbone episode of TDP Plus before this one, so that episode video version should be up if you're one of those patrons. Otherwise, check out the audio version of that tomorrow. And the submission thread for September is still going to be live for one more week. So if you're one of the top tier patrons, go submit a game for the poll, which will be going up at the end of next week. Otherwise, we will see you guys next week. Bye.
See ya.
Bye, everybody.